happy Self-Love Sunday. I am Mo Sass, the host of Self-Love Sundays with Sass. I am a certified vision and empowerment coach who comes every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which we can better our best. And your success is on the other side of your self-sabotage. One more time. Your success is on the other side of your self-sabotage. So this week, guys, I have been crazy busy with clients. It's all great things, but I've noticed this theme that when they get discouraged, they don't stay disciplined, and then they begin to self-sabotage some of their goals. And I wanted to talk about some ways that you can stay disciplined even when you feel discouraged, because it's gonna happen. My favorite saying is life be lifing, okay? Life be lifing. That means there's always gonna be some things that are out of our control. So when those things happen, you have to control the controllables though. It's not like, okay, all these things around me are out of control, and now I'm going to let the things that are within my control, mainly my mind, right, my body and my spirit, just go along with it. You know, we have to control the controllables. So the number one thing to do whenever you feel discouraged and you want to remain disciplined is allow yourself to feel the emotion. A lot of times people don't want to feel what's happening inside of them or with them, or even evaluate why they're feeling the way they're feeling. Most times we are measuring ourselves against others, and that's what happened to a client this week. He thought he should have been further along than he was, and I was just like, well, let's talk about why you feel that way. What's going on? Well, come to find out, he had another friend. They kind of race on these bikes together, and the other friend was further along. But what he didn't understand was the friend, okay, was putting in a lot more practice that he didn't know about, because we had to I'm like, let's swim through this thing. Like, why do you feel you're further along? You are doing A, B, C, and D, which you're not. That means you're not putting in as much effort behind the exercise as your friend is. Well, your friend is not trying to be an entrepreneur. Your friend is not trying to better his best and be, doing his personal development. That means, working in all pillars. He's just focused on his fitness. So of course, but this is where we always get caught up. And this happens to a lot of people, even with social media. Some of you are so busy evaluating your lives according to who you're watching online. You don't even understand what's going on behind the scenes with those people. Okay? So I want you to feel what's going on with you and start to evaluate why. You have to feel it to heal it. It's not about going around it. It's not about ignoring it. Listen, I tried to ignore it. My feelings once upon a time, I found myself almost with a near nervous breakdown. I'm dead serious, right? So we have to feel our emotions. So when I say feel it and evaluate what's going on with it, I'm talking about journaling it out. Right out, sit with yourself. Why am I feeling this way? Why is this happening? And is this really just me? Or am I feeling like I let myself down? Or am I, like looking at other people and evaluating myself and figuring or thinking I should be where someone else is? Never realizing that your journey is yours, your lane is yours. You are one of one, okay, baby? And therefore, the way it's going to happen for you is going to be very different. And I'm saying this to you as I say it to myself. I have to remind myself sometimes as well. So it's a human thing. And the next thing is to understand that emotion is temporary. So what that means to help you to stay disciplined while you're feeling discouraged is not make a permanent decision based upon that temporary emotion. That means that we get to readjust and not quit. It's like if you are on a health journey and you're going to you want to lose weight, and you decide to use the scale as your measuring stick, which I do not. The way that I measure my fit journey is I have a pair of pants that I desire to get into, and I use those pants as my measuring stick, right? And right now they can get to like mid of my thigh, right? So I know when I can get them all the way on, then I've met the goal, that particular goal, right? But if you feel like you're getting discouraged because you're not maybe the weight that you want or inches not coming off. I'm going to tell you another thing that I had to do, ladies, once we get past our 40s. I had to okay, I need to check my hormones because now my hormones are very different. So I'm not, although I just started back on my lifting journey, I'm not dropping weight like I used to. Before, as soon as I started hitting them weights, them pounds was just flow. It's not the same. My body is not the same anymore. My body composition is not the same anymore. That means I have to eat different. That means I have to do things different. My workouts are even different. So again, readjust, but not quitting. There again, digging into why this is happening with me, seeking out a physician. Is it hormones? Is it thyroids? Whatever it is, okay? So whatever is going on with you, that's the same thing you have to do. Readjust, right? After you evaluate the emotion, but not quit. Do not make a permanent decision based on a temporary emotion. Your emotions are temporary. So many people get into heated just like I looked at that story recently about the mom who was upset in New York and went into the McDonald's because she was upset that her fries was cold, got into an argument with a young man behind the counter. Her son steps in. They go outside to fight. And the girlfriend hands the son a gun, and he shoots the kid, that was working at McDonald's, all behind some cold fries. Temporary emotions, okay? Temporary. And you just made a permanent decision for that young man and yourself because now he has lost his life and you're going to jail for the rest of your life. It's like in the moment, we have to stop. That's the other thing. That's the whole purpose of feeling what's going on with you. It's literally stopping and saying, why am I feeling this way? Is it that serious? Is it that serious? Okay? So not making that permanent, that could be life-changing decision in a moment, right? Really evaluating what's going on with you. What's happening? Again, what am I expecting? Is my level of expectation through the roof? Because a lot of times we're discouraged because we're expecting something that most times is not realistic. Now, I'm not saying it. I use that story as, just talking about, making a permanent life-changing decision. And, not saying that the mother walked in and she shouldn't expect hot fries, but it's McDonald's. You should expect that things happen. You should expect that sometimes those fries sit out long. So what we can do is say, hi, may I have some fresh fries, right? Not go in and create this scene. And this happened to me one time too. I was in Atlanta visiting a friend, and I will never forget, I was so upset behind this because we were in IHOP and it was a woman that was sitting there, and this woman clearly had to be mentally ill. And the person that I was with, because they were upset that this woman was looking at the girls that was with us and myself, some kind of way, he said something. And it was like, because of that one thing, right? I said it sparked this argument in the middle of the restaurant. And I was bothered by it because I'm always the cool, calm, and collective. I'm like, I don't care how somebody's looking at me, long as they don't make a move. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's just my thing. When chaos is about to erupt, I'm the person that's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna find the exits. We're gonna get up out of here. I'm not gonna go crazy because everybody else is going crazy. But this is why when I say we make, a decision, because that's a permanent decision when you choose to say something, because you never know which way somebody is going to react. So then I'm like, okay, I'm the woman in this situation, right? And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, I got to step in. Because number one, a man should never argue with a woman. And number two, we're not about to do this in the middle of the restaurant. But what angered me in that situation is one decision. Everything could have been different. It could have went violent. I mean, because again, I'm a grown woman who thinks a lot differently now, but at the end of the day, that lion is still in me. You understand? It's like, people have to start thinking. Sometimes it's not worth it to say anything. Number one, why are you saying something? But this is a level of maturity, right? It's a level of maturity to understand. I understand that in any given situation, the way I react to something can trigger my kids to go left or right. Okay? Especially my 29-year-old son. He don't play about his mama. Right? So we have to, as adults, have to think about that when we're in these situations. You have to think about the fact that that one move could change the trajectory of everyone else's situation. Right? So this is why I say never make a permanent decision based off a temporary emotion. The emotion of anger was temporary. The emotion of this woman looking at us any kind of, because she was clearly off her, that's all temporary. Who cares? Keep it moving. Your fries is cold. Okay, temporary emotion. You're pissed off about some dollar fries. Okay, they on the dollar menu. Temporary. All right, let me get up off my soapbox. Okay. But I just think it's so important because this is why people are losing their lives. Because as adults, we are not thinking. And when we're not thinking, our children clearly are not thinking. Okay? The third thing, when you are feeling discouraged but yet want to stay disciplined, remember your why, y'all. Remember your why. See, your why has to be so huge that it will be nothing or no one, even the discouraging feeling that will get in your way to stop you from achieving your goal. My why is so huge. And it's not just about leaving a legacy. I'll talk about that more in another video, because everybody, when I talk about legacy, they think about monetary. It's so much bigger than that, because I think about my why, which is my grandmother, my father's mom, who was just turned 86 years young on Friday. I want her to see that her prayers came true. I want her to know that my grandmother had a prayer closet in in the basement of our house, y'all, that she would go in there, and I mean, she would be praying to God and worshiping over and over again, praying over her family. You talk about legacy. The legacy that she's leaving is that I have a foundation that's unshakable, a foundation in God that's unshakable. Right? That's my why. I want her to see me do that big thing that I'm working on right now. I want her to see that because of her prayers, look what it has done for her child's children. Okay? That's legacy. And I had to tell her that on Friday. I give my grandmother her flowers while she's here, not while she's in the grave or at her funeral. I allow her to see what her prayers have done for her grandchildren. We are all successful in killing the game. Every single one of us in our own way, killing the game. That's because my grandmother, she's my why. I won't quit. I won't stop. There is nothing or no one that can get in my way, even when I'm discouraged. Follow me, y'all. I may lay in the bed. I want y'all to hear this. I'm not saying that I don't feel things. I lay in the bed and I cry sometimes. 100%. Yes, I get down. But the difference is because my vision that I created for my life is so huge and my why is so big that I will cry, but I will get up and I will move on. Okay? So again, by remembering your why are you doing this? What is it? Why are you creating the goal? What is it that you're trying to achieve, and why? It has to be bigger than some superficial reason. What is your why? Get to the why of the thing. And again, I start off by feeling it. When I say feel it, I want you to understand that means that if you have to lay in the bed and cry, okay, so be it. I've done that. I will never tell somebody not to do something that I have not done. But here's the difference. Before I was on my healing journey of loving myself, it would take me weeks, y'all. Sometimes months. I ain't gonna lie. Months, of just wallowing in that thing. But once you begin to understand that you have to feel it to heal it. And once you do the next thing, which is number 4, right after remember your why, got myself into therapy. I'm not ashamed of the fact that I have 2 therapists. two different backgrounds. A grief therapist because I was dealing with the death of my son, dealing with this, not dealing with it, healing it, y'all. And you never really, that's not something you ever really get over. It's just time. As time goes on, you get better. And that's why I always talk about coming every single Sunday to better our best. It's just about getting 1% better every single day. Not about, and the only competition is myself. Okay? So getting into there. So what am I telling you? After remember, talk it out. If you need to talk it out with someone, talk it out. Listen, here's what I'm going to say to you. If you have to talk it out with a friend, because everything is not that deep, right? So everything doesn't require a therapist, right? Everything doesn't require a life coach, because I believe when I talk about talking about, I'm talking about therapy, coach, and or you can have a friend. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I want you to go to that friend in the moment and ask for what you need. See, here's the thing. If you want the friend just to listen, say, hey, listen, I'm feeling a little bit discouraged and down. I just need to get this off. I just really need to get this out. Ask for that. If you're looking for a solution, ask for it. Say, hey, I'm going through this thing. I really need, some help with it. And ensure that you're going to someone who's solution-based. Don't go to somebody who's going to wallow in the problem with you and make it worse. That's not helping anybody. If you need a yes man, then here's the thing. You're seeking attention and not a solution. I will say that anytime that you're telling that story, I'll give you 2 times, okay? I'll give you a friend and a coach. But any more than that, you're seeking attention and not a solution. And that's the other thing. Be honest with yourself. Stop lying to yourself. I have a client, the child, she just be lying to herself. No, you want everybody else to be honest with you, but yet you're lying to yourself, which means you will lie to others, and you are lying to others. Be honest with yourself. What is this really about? Are you really seeking a solution, or you need attention? Be honest with yourself. Okay? So again, number 1, we talked about feeling the emotion, right? Walking through it. You have to feel it to heal it. Number 2, not making a permanent decision based off a temporary emotion. Readjust. Don't quit. Remember your why. Okay? And then talk it out. And I'm going to say this too. I made a video a couple of weeks ago, and I listen, go back on my YouTube, Mosas. I always put the link. Go back and watch those videos, because I talk about how to get 1% better. And here's the thing. Most people, when they're discouraged, what's happening? We're going to talk about this for a second. They continue the next day, right? Something happens, and they're so busy wallowing in the past because it's gone, that they're not present, and they're messing up their future, because every single decision, every single choice that you make in this moment shapes your future. If you are not where you want to be right now, it is because in the past you have made some permanent decisions based off some temporary emotions, and you're still stuck there. Therefore, you can never get in the present, so your future is not shaping the way you want it to be. It's time to get present. The way to get present is to get in the emotion of now. What's going on with me? Journal that thing out, which is the very first thing I said. Most people want to escape, the emotion. They want to drink it away. They want to sex it away. They want to go gossip it away. They want to get in everybody else's business. They want to scroll away on social media. It's not helping. So again, readjust. Don't quit. If your why is big enough, you can't quit. I can't quit, y'all. My son passed away in 2010, and I made a decision that I was going to live for him. I can't quit. My grandmother got on her knees and prayed for her family. And not just my dad's mom, my mom's mom have left this earth. And I promise you, her and my aunt on the other side, they got my back all day. I can't quit. I told my Aunt Gina I wasn't going to drop the ball. My Aunt Gina was only a year older than me, and she passed away of cancer. And I promised her I'm not. But the problem with most of you is you don't have a why that's big enough. You can't see outside of yourself. And most people think they're so selfless. Oh, I go and I do everything for everybody else. I give everybody to show off my back. No, that is not selfless. It's an action that you take to run away from yourself. Most people are so into everyone else because they are afraid of themselves. I give myself away. I see it all the time. There's these influencers. They're so powerful and they're so uplifting. They give it all away, but never giving anything to themselves, so they don't show up as their authentic self. Listen, how about this? It used to be me. Let me keep it 100. There's a definite difference in my videos when I first started. Then now I'm not afraid to say that I mess up. I'm not afraid to say that I failed. And here's the thing. This is the thing I'll say. Now I realize that wasn't even a failure. It was a lesson. And in that lesson was a blessing. And that's not a cliche. How about that? Everything that's happened in my life, including when I'm discouraged, because I'm going to bring it back, right? I realized that there is something in that I needed to get at the time. It was something in it, right? So I taught myself how to continue to leap. And when I talk about leaping, right, it's letting go of my limiting beliefs, because 9 times out of 10, that's what's happening, right? Letting go of my limiting beliefs, eradicating my fears, and that's the next thing we're going to talk about. The way to stay disciplined when you're discouraged, get into action, y'all. After you have evaluated that thing, after you have, not made any decisions based off that temporary emotion other than readjusting and not quitting, remembering your why, talking it out with either someone that holds you high, a life coach and or a therapist, the next thing you do is get into action. Why? Because it's going to help. If you're discouraged about the needle not moving with your weight, the next thing you want to do is get into action. You want to get into action on your nutrition and get into action by physically moving your body. Physically moving your body. If you're physically moving your body 3 days a week, guess what that says? Get into action and move it 5. Because if you are looking to lose weight, you need to be moving that body at least 6 days a week, 1 day off. I said what I said, y'all. This is how you do it. And you want to be doing some sort of weight training 3 days out of that week. Absolutely. Muscle burns fat, okay? Stop with all this cardio. Do I do cardio 100%? But it's not cardio every single day. No. Weight training. Move your body, walking. People would be surprised what walking does. And I'm not talking about strolling, y'all, like you're eating some ice cream, right? Getting that heart rate up, moving those arms, okay? So again, I want you guys to hear this before I wrap this up. So I want to recap real quick. The way to stay disciplined when you're feeling discouraged. Number 1, feel it to heal it. Journal it. Get into yourself. Get present. What's going on with me? Make sure you're not comparing yourself to someone else. Number 2, don't make any decisions based off that temporary emotion, okay? Understand that this too shall pass. And readjust. Don't quit. It's okay to step back. It's okay to readjust. It's never okay to quit. The next thing, remember your why. Okay? Remember your why. It has to be big enough, y'all. If you don't have a why, I need you to get one. Okay? And remember, when you stay present and let go of the past, your future will change. It's all choice. All right? The next thing, talk it out. Make sure that you are with someone who holds you high. Get with a coach. Listen, info at moesass.com. Info at moesass.com, or you can always message me on Instagram or Facebook or here on YouTube, wherever you find me, okay? Life coach right at your disposal. Any questions you have, I'm here, okay? And if you know you're ready to work, let's get busy, because my clients' lives are changing every single day. Every single day I'm watching people transform, and I'm not talking about motivation and inspiration. All that's temporary. I'm talking about transforming. So when I talked about that leaping, right? So letting go of the limiting beliefs, right? Eradicating their fears by getting them into action, helping them answer the call on their life so they can prosper in their purpose. That's what they're doing. When I talk about transformation, I'm talking about we're changing core beliefs. We're not talking about these superficial things. That's what sets me apart. Listen, not only have I leaped in my life, I got my clients leaping in theirs. Understand that. And when you leap, it changes the DNA of your entire family. Everybody talks about changing legacy, but you can't change it off of temporary things, honey. That's when we make those permanent life changes. That's when we change our minds permanently. We don't go back to the old. We walk into that new. Okay? All right. And remember to know that you are human. Know you are human. Okay? You are a human being, right? Not a human doing. So that means sometimes you just have to be with it. But it's not about wallowing. All right? You want to, if it takes a day, take the day. But the next day, we get up and we get into action. And I want to leave you with this. Most people desire to be the best of the best. But if you want to be the best of the best for you. I'm a little competitive, so I want to be the best of the best in my field. Remember that the best of the best seek out. They seek out what they need and what they want. That is, and I'm going to say the top 20% because there's a lot of people doing this right now. Okay? The other 80, they're sitting back waiting on someone or something to come to them. Now, there is a time, there is harvest time when you reap. I get that. But for the most part, when it comes to this personal development, when it comes to your goals, when it comes to being successful, and I'm not just talking money, I'm talking about being successful in an abundance of happiness and joy. You have to seek that out too. What that means is you have to release yourself from that mental prison that you have put yourself in based upon things that have happened in your life. You have to seek that thing out. And so how do you seek that out, Mo? Okay, that's where I'm telling you, I talk about this therapy thing so much because it's important for you to understand why you operate the way you do. I had to understand why I operated. There are some things that were automatic in me. Why do I operate in such a way? I had to go figure that thing out. So that I can rewire that thing. So I can walk in this abundance of peace. Come on, y'all. Abundance of peace. You want to be the best of the best? Get off your butt and seek out what it is that you desire in this life. There is no one coming to save you. There is no one that's going to just come and give it to you. You got to get off your butt and go out there and get it. Seek out the knowledge. Get on YouTube. Start listening to better things. Get your butt in the room. Seek out those conferences. Get you a mentor. Get you a coach. I'm talking to you from experience. I'm at the next level, the level I was dreaming about only 5 years ago because I decided to get a therapist, 2 of them, and I decided to get me a coach, 2 of them. Yes, I do for different things, or I need a financial coach. Child, had to get that together, right? As well as a personal development coach. You have to listen. If you want to be the best, go get it. The way to stay disciplined while discouraged is having a coach. www.moesass.com. I am life coaching with Sass on Instagram and Facebook. I look forward to hearing from the best of the best. Have a great Sunday.